So this crack here is what we're going to start with, and it's really a stress crack. All of the stress of the plastic is just being put on this one spot here. So what I'm going to end up doing is drilling a hole right here to help relieve some of that stress. That way it also doesn't continue to want to rip in one direction. So now, as you can see, there's a hole there, and it lessens the stress a little bit. I don't have to have much force when I pull these together. However, right now I have to figure out a way to bring these two pieces together so that I can weld them. And the way that I'm going to do that is putting some string to tie these two ends together so that I can bring this piece together so I don't have to hold it. And I think that's going to work out with that crack closing up quite a bit. Now the next thing that I want to do is on this front side, I'm going to put some foiled face tape. That way I can get a nice perfect alignment in there, and it will at least hold for the next process. Is I'm going to take a grinder and I'm going to grind out some of this plastic. If you're finding the information in this video helpful, go ahead and give us a like. Or, better yet, subscribe, and you'll get the latest notification of videos when they come out. Thank you. What I'm going to do is I'm going to put some of the stainless steel right across here, so that will strengthen that seam. And when using the stainless steel, all you have to do is kind of push on it and let the plastic melt into it. Alright, I've taken the string off, and as you can see now it's starting to stay in one position. That weld looks like it held up real nice. I got the seam pretty close. I got a little bit off right here, but I can fix that later on. And I'm going to now start on the front side. And what I'm going to do now is what I'm calling a stitching. I'm going to melt these two pieces together with a soldering iron, and I'm going to bridge this gap with plastic. And I'm going to try to get down about halfway. I don't want to go all the way through to the other side. And with this type of weld, it will give a nice, neat finish pattern to it instead of just slopping on some plastic weld over top of this. So this is the finished weld, and as you can see, it turned out really good, and it looks decent. I mean, it's not obviously the same quality as a finished product, but it's nice and strong. And so that one is finished, and we'll work on the rest of them. On this more complex crack, I've had to drill 2 holes. I've got my tape on it. Now I'm going to go ahead and use the grinder and grind that out about halfway down like I did before. To fix all of these cracks, I'm going to start here and work my way this way through them. This crack actually is closing up really good. It takes a little bit to pull it apart, but then when I release it, it seals itself back up. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to tape it, then I'm going to grind it, and then I'm going to start to weld it. Very simple process like I did before. Because I have multiple cracks here, this one that I just finished welding on the back side, and then all the way up to here, and then a new crack starts, and another crack starts this way, I'm going to stitch all this and even come up along the sides here a little bit just to put these two pieces together. I haven't done the back side on this piece or this piece over here. I'm going to see how far I can get with the stitching so it would hold together. Right now I'm getting this large crack way up here and then also multiple cracks down in this area. Now that I've completed the welding on this plastic fender liner, you can see that it holds its original shape and doesn't flop to the sides. A couple of finish shots on the welds. You can see that I took my time on some of them. This one was a little bit more complicated based on all the cracks and the different directions of the cracks, and it was hard to get in there with a welder. But then again, this just is a plastic liner and no one's ever going to see it. And then last but not least, if it was a product like a bumper or some panel that was going to be painted, you can see that taking your time and sanding this plastic down, it does finish off very well on where I used to have a crack someplace in here, probably like right there. It does become invisible. Do leave a comment in the section below. If you like what you saw, give us a like, and if you subscribe, you'll get the latest notifications as soon as videos come out. Again, I thank you for watching, and talk to you soon.